Hi everyone, this is a video to show you how to take the really old flared handbag SVG through Design Space, and I'm posting this now because I made this a long time ago and I've sold literally hundreds of copies of it, but I had a query about it today and it made me go back and look at it again, and I think that actually putting it all into one SVG makes it a little bit easier to handle, and especially because there's a recurring issue with one of the pieces not coming in at the right size, even though it's set up at the right size in Illustrator. So I have now recreated this SVG and it's all in one, all the pieces of the handbag are all in the same file. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it in. There it is. So we'll just do the scores and everything as usual. So with my files, this top group, which is the second line down in your layers panel, is always where the lines live that need converting to scores. So you select that group by just clicking on the name of it there. It selects everything in the group, and then you go over to your operations menu at the top left hand corner, click on basic cut, go down to score, and you can see that the lines become dashed on screen. That means that they've been changed to score lines. The next thing you need to do with those lines still selected is ungroup them. Okay, so then you click on the name of the second group, which selects everything else on screen, and you ungroup it. And then the final step is to click right at the top of your layers panel and ungroup once more. So you ungroup 3 times. That's ready to go now. We're ready to attach the scores, and we'll just read that message before we do. I'll zoom into it. So this is just a little message about the handles, which people were finding a bit confusing. So with this SVG, you can see that I've got a red set and a green set. And if I just go through this message with you, red handles fit the handbag front and back pieces exactly. The green handles include 2mm extra on all edges. This makes it a little bit easier to enclose the handbag so nothing of that shows. So in other words, when you're sandwiching the front or the back panel between a pair of handles with the offset, it's just a little bit easier to hide the handbag. So if you're a bit newer to crafting, you might find the larger handles, the green handles, a bit easier to use, but you don't have to. And then it says, use whichever you find easiest. Delete this box handwriting before you cut. It's just to give you this message. So now we've read it, we're going to select it and cut it. Right, so I'll zoom back out. So I personally, I'm going to use the handles with no offset. So I'm going to select the green handles, just the handles, and I'm going to delete them. So now we just need to attach scores to all the pieces. We've ungrouped everything. So to do that, you need to select each individual piece that has score lines on it and its score lines and attach. So the quickest way to do that is to click on screen somewhere near the piece, drag a box to enclose it, back over to your layers panel, down to the bottom and click attach. And you do that for every piece on screen that has a score line. Whoops, that has, oh, what have I done? There it is. That has a score line on it. So select that, attach it. We'll just move that out of the way. That's the base, has no scores. These are the wall panels. I think you could probably attach those together because you're probably going to cut them together, but we'll just separate them for argument's sake. And here's the back, and you attach that as well. Obviously there are no scores on the handles. Right, if you were cutting from 12 by 12, I would recommend that you select the handles as a group and attach them. If you're cutting from A4, then I would recommend that you take a pair of handles, rearrange them like this, take this piece, put it in between. How big is that all together? How big is that together now? Yeah, it can go a little bit further down. So I'm just going to move that a bit further down. Although actually, no, it would be a looser fit further up, wouldn't it? Or would it? What I'm trying to do is just make sure these pieces fit and don't touch each other. I'll just zoom in. Yeah, that's fine. So if we select all 3 pieces now and attach them, you can see that they fit well within the width of an A4 and within the length of a 1. If you don't attach them like that, Design Space will lay them out less economically. So if you're using A4, that's the best way to lay those out. And those two, it'll just put on an A4 and that's fine, they'll cut together. It's really this little handbag closure that causes the problem. And if you can get the straps and the handbag closure out of 2 A4s, that's a bit more economical. So that's all we needed to know, I think. I'll just hit make it and make sure it's all working. Yep, so you get 3 12 by 12s for the handbag front, the handbag back, and the wall panels and the base. And then there we have our little attached A4 for 2 sets of handles, and it just lays the other 2 out like that on another A4. Hope that helps a lot. I think it's a better way, and I hope it kills 2 birds with 1 stone, really. Makes the handbag a little bit easier to work with and solves that issue of these straps coming in at the wrong size, which I have no idea why that was happening. If you've already bought this handbag and you would like this different SVG, I mean, you've probably made a project of it by now, but if you haven't and you would like this SVG with everything in the same file, please just message me and I'd be very happy to email it to you outside Etsy if you can't download it. Alright, thank you. Bye.